Hi, everyone. This is Tammy Templeman, co founder and creative director here at Houseplay Renovations. And I want to start today by just thanking all of you who joined us on A Home You Love. It was such a great experience for me to get to know 22 experts and learn so much about all these different aspects of what makes a great environment in your home. And I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to share it with you. If you were there and you have responded to our survey, thank you so much. These videos that you'll be receiving from me over the next few weeks are going to be in response to questions that have come up on the survey and questions that I hear, day to day from other clients that I work with. So today's question is, how do I prioritize? Where do I get the best return on my investment? And I'm going to be talking about it not from a financial aspect necessarily or specifically, but more from an emotional side. So the the return on your investment is often, especially if you're renovating for yourself, for a house that you're planning to live in for a little while, your return on investment is often um, intangible. And so I know there's like some analyzers out there and this is like totally freaking them out, but just hear me out, right? Your home is your sanctuary. Your home is where you spend time when you want to be relaxed, when you want to be able to unwind, you want to be able to spend quality time with your family, with your partner, with your children, with your friends. So the type of space that you live in and the quality of that space can have a huge impact on all of those areas of your life. And that's what A Home You Love was all about. It was really about looking at home as this multidimensional space that, and by multidimensional, I mean more than three dimensions, right? Multidimensional space, these layers of atmosphere and environment. And so we're looking at all of those layers. And so, what I'm going to do today is just give you a few questions that you can ask yourself as you walk through your home and in terms of figuring out where to get started with renovating. So, the first question that I always ask is, how long have you lived in your space? And how long are you planning to live in your space? So, those questions are important because the longer you're planning to live in your space, say it's a 5 to 10 year plan, the more benefit you're going to get from investing in making it the way you want it sooner, because you'll get to enjoy it over that time. If it's a 2 year plan, 1 to 2 years, then it looks different, right? It looks different depending on whether you're going to rent it out, whether you're going to sell it at the end. And so really then the priorities become what's going to have the most impact for the next person coming in. But when you're talking about a home that you've bought that you're planning to stay in for the midterm or long term kind of range, I always just emphasize the importance of making sure that you're creating something in your home that you can enjoy in the interim. And so let's start with the first question that I think will help you to identify a priority area in your home. The first question I would ask is there a space in your home that really, really irritates you, that causes you a lot of stress every day? So for some people, this is a bathroom, the space where they get ready for the day in the morning and they want it to be a refreshing, invigorating space, and it just makes them feel like, ugh. For some people, it might be the kitchen. They might spend, I know some of you are spending a lot of time in your kitchen, especially if you have young kids who seem to be hungry like 24/7. And if the kitchen isn't functioning well, if the cabinets are broken, if it's just dark and dingy or old, or the appliances aren't working great, that can just be a really big stress point. I'll give you a story from our home. We bought a house a few years back that we live in now, and the kitchen appliances, the stovetop and the oven are the original, or were the original from like the 1950s. And by some magic, they still work really pretty well considering the age. But the stovetop, when you turn the burner, you had to light it with a lighter. It didn't just ignite on its own. And we get used to it. You get used to it. And I don't think I realized how much stress it caused until my husband installed a new cooktop. And now you turn the switch and it just lights up. And you don't have to worry about who took the lighter and who left it upstairs in the bathroom when they were lighting a candle, and why isn't it working? Oh, it's low on fuel. So anyway, it was a really huge improvement to the quality of our life. And I will say that that affected me, even though I'm not the primary cook in our home. So I can only imagine for my husband how much more impactful that was. And so that's one thing, right? Look at where you're feeling the most stress and strain and irritation, and prioritize making improvements there. So a bathroom renovation might be great, a kitchen renovation. Those seem to be key areas for many people. But then the second question that I always ask is, look at the space as it's currently set up, and are you using all the areas of your home in the most effective way? So, for example, I have a lot of clients who've dedicated a room for guests, and I'm guilty of this as well. This room for guests is utilized maybe 1 or 2 weeks out of the year, and the rest of the year it's just sitting there, beautifully kept up. Um, Maybe there's great light. Maybe there's a beautiful view out the window. And yet it's an underutilized space. They're not taking advantage of it on the day to day. And so I had a client recently. I'll share this story because I think it's really helpful. Their son had the little bedroom, and then the guest room was about twice the size of a bedroom right next door. And so as we were looking through their house, we were talking about possibly doing an extension at the back, or something like that, or finishing the basement. And what turned out to be an even more effective solution, and definitely more effective in terms of the level of investment and the amount of return, was just looking at, what if we just switch these two bedrooms around? What if your son gets the big room so that when he has his friends over, they have a place to play? He can bring his toys out from the dining room downstairs and up to his room. And then the office guest room could be the small room, and it could be a futon instead of a queen size bed, right? So those are some of the strategies that I like to look at. What is going on in your house? What are the areas that might be able to be working much better with a very kind of low level of time and energy and investment? And then, of course, the final piece is the full home renovation. Some people, I know, some of our clients, and I would say most of the ones that we work with extensively, buy a house that they know they want to renovate top to bottom. And so then the phasing out of the projects does become a little bit more complex, because there's a lot of decisions to be made. Is it possible to do it all at once? That's always my top choice, because living through a renovation project is stressful. I've done it. It's noisy, it's dusty, it's, there's people in and out. You kind of give up your privacy, your sanctuary for a while. And these projects always take longer than people think, longer than they do on TV, let's just say. And so if we can phase them out, if we can prioritize, then it is really helpful. If we can't do it all at once, then I always kind of look to, okay, can we phase it out sort of geographically? Like, is the top floor kind of self-contained, and can we do a project where we start at the top floor and the family can live on the lower levels during the course of the project? And if that works well, great. But what if there's only one bathroom in the house? That it's just not going to work. We also will look at if there are key areas, like, okay, we're renovating 2 bathrooms and a kitchen. Well, what if we do the kitchen and one of the bathrooms first? And that way there's a second bathroom that's functioning over the course of the project. But I would say that the biggest piece there is really looking at the logistics, the timing, and the budget, and piecing it all together in a really thoughtful way, because they're all interwoven. And that's what I'm here to support you with. I have, built out a service to support you with that specific thing. And so if you're interested in getting more insights into your home and your project, and you'd like my support, I am going to include a link below so that you can continue this conversation with me. I would love to hear from you. Of course, feel free to email me at any time, and I will look forward to continuing to pop in here and share some insights with you and answer all the questions that I'm getting from you. They're lovely. Keep them coming. I can't wait to answer them for you. Have a great rest of the day.